of you want to do things right? To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed in attaining all in that which is your need? To be heard by the real answerer of all deeds, the true hero of all whom pleads. Who of you really want to bow down to the true King of Kings commanding the crown? To worship the one that ever rules alone, commanding everything of creation from the seat of its throne.
Good evening and welcome to an A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm. I'm your host, Minister A.H.A.D, and with me we always have Brother Fakir Abdul-Aziz, Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, and Holy Queen Mother Rabbi Saleem. May Ahezaah's peace and other blessings be within about your presence. And we're in our second installment of the an A.H.A.D moment, being viewed out there in Brooklyn and the surrounding areas. We hope you enjoyed our first program as an introduction to what we are about, introduction to Lord Holy-Apostle Deen, and the whole aim of this whole A.H.A.D movement. With that being said, if anyone would like to bring forth a great idea or discussion to talk about, I think one thing that we need to look at is we spoke about the manifestation of what's being presented today in the signs of the world today. We would like to bring it more close to home and how part of this education is dealing with the inner world as well as the outer world, because most of the people of mankind dealing with the outer world, what's going on. The doers of evil in this society today keep everyone busy their lives with things of the outer, and never taking time really to investigate themselves or their inner being, to settle down and look at what's going forward instead of being presented always time in the microwave pace or fast-paced society that is going, and to really awaken to reality that we are living in this hour of the day. So with that being said, anyone to join in?
We've spoken on it just a minute, in that when you reflect on the inner, talking to the people and just anyone, you start reflecting on the inner self, what's going on within your world, meditation, contemplation, looking at the real, then that puts you in the best position, more so than looking on the outside, with tuning in to the source, the Lord, the true Lord of all worlds, so the holy creator, the supreme maker, the known by many names, over many times, over many years, and many cultures. It's come to people in Arabic and in Hebrew. It's coming into the ancient Egyptian languages and the Far East languages and the mindsets of many people. And so how do you address something from the outer? How do you address the Lord that created an infinitude of so many things in the universe? How do you address that Lord? The simplest and most direct way for you, for people as that created being, for those who are believers in this, is look at the one creation that you're most closely in tune with, the creation that is of yourself. To look in within yourself and how the Lord manifested it for you. That coming in.
I was given a lesson this week that I found to be very interesting. The Lord gives us many lessons, and sometimes we magnify things, the outer things we magnify, and we don't take time to magnify the inner things. First of all, sometimes we don't even know what we're supposed to magnify about the inner being. People say, well, look within. Well, what am I looking for? Mm-hmm. There's very important things that's within that we need to magnify and see how they work for and against us, so that we could begin that journey of going within to raise ourselves up. See, you can't do anything outside of yourself until you start within yourself. People think cleaning a house is cleaning the surface of your house. No, you really cleaned your house when you took things apart and broke it down and cleaned the corners of your house. So that's the way it is in life. Or to begin on the right journey is you have to go within, and then you have to know what you're looking for. And the lesson that I was given this week was about the heart, the mind, the spirit, and the soul. It's kind of a lengthy lesson. It's not something that I could just put out there for you to get. I can only briefly tell you. But those are some main things that you need to look at. Is your heart, your mind, your spirit, and your soul, and see how they work for and against you. because those things is what makes up you, you know. And Ahezaah gives you these things, and it giving you these things, it gives you life, that it lives through us. A lot of times we be like, my life, my life. No, you're not alive unless Ahezaah exists within you. If Ahezaah takes itself away from anything in creation, it no longer exists. Because Ahezaah is the truth, is the reality. And we're just the illusion. We're like what I would call the puppet in the puppet master's hand. But it's hard to understand that you have to start at the beginning. You know, you have to kind of clean yourself of that which you have been fed to take in. And you have to empty yourself, you know, so the Lord can fill you up. I know that in Christianity they sing a lot of good songs that points to these things. But the thing is that the preachers and the ministers and stuff haven't been given the knowledge to explain to you what it means, you know. And so songs is good, but until you can really be able to take that song and relate it, because see, the Lord is the creator of all things. It gives music as well. The Lord communicates to us, and we think that the Lord don't communicate to us, but the Lord communicates to us in so many different avenues. And these are the things that, you know, like I said, I don't want to, I really, honestly, Holy Apostle could explain it better because he gave me the lesson. But these is the thing, when we talking about going within, we talking about cleaning your house up so that you can receive the good that Ahezaah has for you, so that you could get on the path that takes you to Ahezaah, not, it takes you as an individual, not your congregation, and not the many other things that you associate yourself with. It is that personal relationship people always talking about. And you be like, oh, well, I have a personal relationship with the Lord. I pray to the Lord and this, that, and the other. That's not the relationship goes deeper than that. Oh, yeah. You know, you may think you have a relationship with your spouse because you talk to them and you hang out with them. Relationships go deeper than that. So those are the things that we would like to take you into to look at, and hopefully within half an hour, Holy Apostle can explain something. If not, you could tune in at another time and gain some more information. It's just about giving you tools to clean your house with.
Well, let me just say that, first of all, I want you to be aware that we will not, I will try to stay away from politics. I'm not going to get involved so much in politics and worldly matters. You know, because people have made their decisions about what they want to do in those things. It's a uphill battle for that, a losing battle for that. People are brainwashed, you know, into believing that the best things of this life is the goods of this world, and that's not true. What I'm going to attempt to do is to stay focused, keep us focused on the inner realms, on the inner jihad, or the inner holy war, the inner war that every single individual, regardless of what you call yourself, is involved in. And now, when we're talking about going back to the beginning, the beginning is not you yourself. When we talk about understanding about the heart, your soul, the spirit, and what have you, that's going beyond. You got to go beyond just you. You got to go to El. El means the. Just like Al in Arabic, El in Hebrew is the in English. And the is the indescribable, infinite living mind. The is the definite article of every single thing. When I say definite article, the real essential being that's in everything. And when Holy Queen Mother had made mention about you living, or it living through you, it is the thing that is alive in this world. It is the living thing that is about you in everything. You are truly a reflection of its imaging. You are truly man, and everything about creation is really a reflection of its mind, an image of its mind, something that it thinks from the way back 25,000 years ago and even further. We talked about man being an illusion, the world of creation being mental, and everything created being in the mind of the. We called it for the breath of life, and men for the mind, for the mental being of creation. And that's where the name and the meaning of Amen comes from. Amen don't mean so be it with the Lord. Amen don't mean period, that's it, we're done. Amen means the breath of mind that created all things in creation, or that reality, the originator, which breathed its breath of mind, its essence of mind into all things. You see, so what Ahezaah, the name of the new Lord, Ahezaah, what it gives me to give to you and to share through this panel is the education of those things. Now, half an hour is not really enough, but we're going to do our best to try to give you as much as we can without an overload. I noticed my wife, as she was speaking, she jumped into things, and this is one of the things because she want to try to like give you an overview of what's going on. This is something we're going to try not to do. We're going to try to keep everything on an even keel and try to get the fullness of a message. So what we'll do is try to pick out a certain subject and stay with that subject matter, you know. And one of the things that they started pointing out, because I give them opportunity to speak, because, you know, I would like for them to speak what's on their mind, and then I can add to that, or, you know, we can open those things up, is the finding of yourself. When, you know, the higher self of your being, the highest self is the Lord Most High. That's something that needs to be studied, investigated, looked into, you know, because people run around talking about, I'm God, I'm God, I'm God. They get the wrong message. You know, they get misinterpretations, misconceptions, and then they go and misconstrue things and send it out there into the world, and then it's all wrong. You know, we talking about ancient information that people want to take up 5 minutes with and then run out there and think they have power. You know, the information that the Lord has given me today, it opens up all the sealed religions, all the sealed words of the truth. It explains and describes all of them, and it puts it in a nutshell. El is the one that everything goes back to. El is the one, and it in its greatest power is in the nothingness of itself, the formless being, that which contains everything in the void of everything, that which everything comes out of, and make for itself to be one, the most powerful number. And most people, you know, look at religion or the conversations of spirituality, and they think that when you say something like the 0 is more powerful than the 1, that don't sound right. It's a paradox. But you think about the Arabic numerical system and what the 0 did. The 0 gives us the power to evolve into the next level of every numerical bracket.
That's right.
So that 0 is not just a 0 in terms of what you think it is as emptiness. It is what all things come out of. So the power, the indescribable, unfathomable, eternal, infinite being is there alone in its power. And everything coming out of it is manifested as, like the Holy Queen Mother said, a puppet.
I think about what you're saying, Holy Apostle, when Ahezaah says, for example, in his Holy Quran, when it said, out of the truest days of darkness came forth the light. Out of nothing came into something,
Yeah.
into being. And all these types of things that Ahezaah blessed us with of this information, the main thing that you give us here is the key, is the application of it, living it, applying it to our daily life. How that we can go step by step on this path of the way to come to the realization, to reality that the Lord that you're speaking about is the one that all connected back to it in its reality of source of giving us life and breath and living and being, and realize that, and not just live in the fantasy or the illusions of I'm independent of it, but I really do need it, and it is the reality that I must be sustained under, in and through and by, to have a real existence in its creation.
One of the greatest mistakes that man makes is to take the wisdom, the words of the Lord, and to try to live by it independent of the Lord.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they put up facades for their religions. Every religion have a dress. You know, we slumming.
Right.
You know, we feeling comfortable because, you know, I called you and said, look, let's go and start this thing for Brooklyn. Let's just sit down.
That's right.
So our first 4 shows, here we go. We're gonna be sitting here in these clothes, and if someone can't get past our dress,
That's
then we know, they should know they have a problem.
Right.
Because it's not about this dress, it's not about the costume. You have
Right.
so many people that put on a costume and you say, oh, that person's a Muslim, oh, that person's a Christian,
Right.
that's a Hindu, that's a Buddhist, that's a Taoist. Is it really?
Right.
Are they really? You know? See, it's not how you dress up your body, it's how your mind and your heart and your spirit is dressed up. For so long, through many ages of our people, so many of us don't know what the soul is. We think the soul is the spirit. We think the soul is our vibrations. We think the soul is our emotions and having a good time. We think going out and dancing, we got soul. We think going out and eating food, that's soul food.
Right. Right.
And the soul of man is not even in the body of man. Now this is information that I'm quite sure you haven't heard before. The soul of man is aside from the body of man. Your soul, each and every soul of everything in this creation, is in the most mysterious place, in the most secret relationship with the most secretive being of life, and that is El. We have an extension from our soul, like an umbilical cord that comes down from our soul with information about our life and how we're supposed to live that life. And anything we do to go against that, our soul sends its words through the spirit, which we call conscience, and shake up our bodies and make every individual particle of our being, each separate individual, like the Lord said on the day of judgment, your limbs will bear witness to it. I used to think when I was young, I was talking about my limbs, my fingers, my arms, but each particle is a limb. And they all have a mind. The mind of the Lord that the Lord has placed in them and gathered them together, keep them together as your flesh. You see, you have a world within you, and one of the signs is you are a microcosm to the great macrocosm of the universe. You know, and so we are all examples, reflections of that one thing. You know, so you know, it's like we have to understand that we have to strip ourselves of what the devil or the doers of evil has given us in the religions. That's the Antichrist. Those form religions that you get all across America and all across the world. I don't care what name they come under. If they was right, I would not be here today. The Lord would not be determined to destroy the world today. They are all wrong. And you might have a pocket full that's all right, and you have the masses around them trying to destroy them, to see that they do not let their right come abroad so that the people can recognize it. But that's why I'm here today. This is our purpose for trying to reach you, you know, out in Brooklyn and wherever you may be, and try to keep it simple. We want to simplify this thing for you, but in order to get this right, you have to find yourself. In order to find yourself, you got to follow the path that's been laid down for you so that you can come into the way of finding yourself.
Right.
In order to find that self, you have to understand that that self is only alone from the owner. The reality, you, everything about you belongs to something else. You are mastered by something else. That something else is El. It is your master, it is your reality, it is your being. We have to walk this path to try to get to it in a relationship where it will explain to us what we are, who we are, why we are here as individuals, so that we can become of the dome of its free, to be free in the freedom. You know, so that we can walk with a liberated mind and see it in all things and understand it in all things and respect it in all things, and be the best human beings where we pass forth peace throughout the world in all the settings of our lives. This is something that the devil don't want you to have. This is something that people in the secret government fight me against, because they don't want nobody free of their influence. They want you to think that they are more powerful than everything on this planet Earth. They don't want you to even fathom or believe that there can possibly be aliens, because they know they have no control of the aliens, and that you would know that they have no power over them. So they would lie for hundreds of years and tell you that the things that the people have spoken all around the planet Earth for thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years is not true. It's only your imagination. And by using the media, they flip the minds of people and have people, confused and arguing and debating and going against one another, when they are the enemies. They are the real enemies. They divide and they conquer. And I'm not talking about races of people. I'm talking about all people.
Masters of manipulation.
Yes.
Masters of the people. It just in striking that, Lord, we was talking about, you did not come here to teach religion to the people.
No.
Once we said you came to teach truth.
Truth, right.
That's truth. And so the people are looking, trying to figure out, what are you talking about? What religion they come from? What sect they come from? Whatever.
Well, let me just say this here, and hold your thought, please. Why I say I didn't come to teach religion, because religion is your way of life. I didn't come to teach you how to be in your way of life. You know, you could say, I believe you, I'm with you, and I'm going to practice in the way you practice. Then you go and have your own way of life, another way of life behind closed doors. Your religion is the way that you are. Whatever it is, that's your religion. You understand? But to come to the truth, you see, when the Lord El said in the name of Allah, the Prophet Muhammad, that it came and it had perfected its religion in Muhammad, its chosen religion, its chosen way of life. We as a people, we need to understand the usage of words, the meaning of words, and how they're used, so that we can get a fuller understanding of the divine message that's being hid from us in the books, in the dictionaries, and the changes of the terminologies of the meanings of words. So, no, I did not come to teach you how to be. I came to teach you how to look to see the one who will tell you how to be. You know, and it's for you to take up the responsibility and to be of the righteous, and the righteous is El. You see, like today, people think the righteous is people going to church or the masjid or the synagogue or the temple or mosque or whatever. No, the righteous is the Lord itself. You see, and you know, each and every one of our souls are with it, like, you know, glue. Fixed and unchanging, and will war against each one of us and put us to hell when we go against the commandments of the Lord. Our souls.
Talking about looking at the outside instead of the inside. Yeah, the world has been tricked into thinking that they're going to find the answers on the outside, even in their preachers, even in their the people that they've been made to respect the most. And it's not. I would say it's not just to disrespect them for no reason, but look at the seriousness of yourself. Look for Ahezaah. Look for the reality of the Lord.
I have a question. I have a question for the audience. Why is it that in all the so-called religious orders, except the order of evil, the devils outright, the Satanists, why is it that your leaders aren't teaching you and holding conversations strictly about the devil?
It's true.
It's necessary for us to know our enemy.
That's right.
Why they don't hold it? Why they always just talking about the Lord Most High?
Right.
When the Lord Most High speaks about the devil.
Right.
When the Lord Most High sends down his education about Satan being set, Lucifer being the old light bearer
That's
that
right.
was set
That's right.
as Satan
That's it.
in this world.
Mhm.
And what it is about that 666 that's relative to the angels and to man,
Right.
where the devil was stuck under.
Right.
You know, why is it that they don't touch those subjects? Why is it that the hour, the time of the hour of revelation, why is it that since it's here now, no one is preaching about that anymore?
Right.
You know, these are questions that I challenge you to ask your religious leaders.
Right.
What it is about the devil you don't want to talk about in church and temple and masjid? Why you want to expound on the Lord being so merciful, and you don't
Right.
want to expound on the Lord being merciless as well? Why you don't want to talk about what the Lord will actually do to you, and why do you leave so much for this advocates of the devil
Right.
to bring so much of confusion on the media, through the media, without you battling, without you, flipping the script in your churches and what have you? You know,
That's true.
why?
I think, go ahead, Queen. Go ahead.
Well, one of the things, and I'll say this quick because I know we run out of time, is one of the things hopefully you could gain from watching this show is that we deal with truth.
Right.
And one of the reasons why you don't have the so-called ministers and what have you speaking on things is because they know that mankind hate the truth. You know, oh, he said this about me. Well, first of all, you need to understand that that devil is you. You know, that that devil is
A part of
in
you.
you. It's a part of you. It's just as alive in you as what you consider the good in you. And if nobody's telling you these things, then your devil just runs rampant just like everybody else.
Pointing at every other thing
Looking
as the
outside of
devil.
you, right.
You know,
You
so
know, yeah.
there's a lot of truth that people hold back from because they would lose so much. It's more for them to lose than it is that they're concerning themselves with you gaining.
Yeah, it's more advantageous to the doers of evil, the jinn, the leaders of this world, that you stay ignorant.
Right.
You understand? So that you do not see them. But one of the crazy things that go on in this world is that our people, the commoners, they choose people, they pay people to guide them and to master them, and then these people make laws against them, and then you can't fire them. They got laws where you can't fire them once you choose them. That's madness. That's craziness. But this is our world.
Well, we're gonna hold this thought, to our next program. This has been the A.H.A.D moment, the calm before the storm. If you want to reach us by correspondence, you can reach us at A.H.A.D Incorporated, Post Office Box 8795, Newark, New Jersey 07103. That is A.H.A.D Incorporated,
want to
Post
do
Office Box
things right.
87.
To keep up with keeping your lives tight. Tight as in being right with the truth of true insight. Who of you want to do things right? Who of you want to truly succeed?